I don't know, man. I'm reading this, and if my favorite burrito joint says I needed to get vaccinated, I'm going to get vaccinated right now.
It's good incentive.
There's just some things that um, I can't live without. Now, I can make my own at home, but my recurring theme. I sell shirts that have tacos on them for,
Yeah.
um, it's just there's some things I'm not willing to give up, man. Uh, it's I This guy pops up in my feed once in a while. He originally popped up in my feed last year because he did something about the PPP loans
Mm.
and probably Bank of America because I was like looking into that stuff back in March and April. And ever since then, like he pops up in my feed once in a while. And then I see this pop up and I'm like, interesting. So he said that him and his manager both got the shots, but they're not going to shop at places that put this up. And I get it and I don't get it. Like, it's strange times. Kane, I know things are a little bit different where you were, but like Michigan, we had one of the most brutal lockdowns
Hmm.
in the country. It's at one point I can't remember all the crazy shit that was going on, but at one point, if you had a second home, that you weren't allowed to travel to your second home, or they would like fine you or arrest you or something. And it's not about not owning or owning a second home. It's the fact that they're saying I can't even travel between two places, and you're going to arrest me. Or there was people fishing in April because it's like walleye season. They go fishing, so they said you can't go out on boats anymore. You can't fish. It's like, so even if I'm out with my family, it's like these crazy laws, and like they want you to stay in the house. So every time I'd go for a drive and there was a cop behind me, I'm sitting there wondering, am I going to get pulled over and get arrested? Kate, it was a really shitty feeling where you felt like you were in this police state or some. It was very surreal what was going on in Michigan, and there's stuff like that going on in Australia right now, where you can't leave your house for more than an hour a day. Like what? Um, I don't like that feeling. Just being straight up. Like
Yeah.
I removed myself from society. I've not been in like any restaurants. I don't. I get all my stuff from curbside. I've just gone around nobody in 18 months because I'm trying to do my part. But when I had that feeling of just going for a drive down the street, I got to worry about getting pulled over and arrested. Like I'm never going to forget that feeling.
Mm.
That didn't feel like freedom anymore. I felt like I was locked in a prison, if that makes any sense. Um, and I got to
Uh,
imagine what's a good.
I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, it does make sense. I remember. It wasn't so extreme out here in Ohio, but it was an odd feeling when everything was locked down.
I mean, were you able to drive down the street and not worry about getting pulled over and going to jail?
Yeah, I don't think it was so extreme here.
It was. Oh man, it was crazy around here. So, and I look at New York right now, and I get it though. I do get it that it's. I think a lot of the stuff was spread from people sitting in the bars, and you keep breathing the same air and over again. But if you walk by and say, "Hey, you're not allowed to come in here and get any food if you don't have a Vax card," uh, can't go to a gym unless you got a Vax card. It's. I gotta imagine this is probably where we're going as a country, right?
Hmm. So I have a question, James. Yeah, can you help me break down kind of what the meaning of? So he decided to take a visit to the location of what used to be his favorite burrito place that closed down 2 years ago and was greeted with this sign. Like, what was he expecting to find?
I'm not sure because they said the burrito place that closed down 2 years ago. So was he expecting the old burrito place to be back,
To be back. I don't get
or
it.
or I'm guessing this is the new place? I
Hmm.
that I don't know, but it just sounds like his overall stance is that he doesn't want to support this. Um,
Yeah, and that's fair. That's fair.
no, without a doubt, you get both sides of it, right?
Yeah.
You get that you want people to be protected, but you also feel like the government is pushing you into this corner. And I don't know if that's a good. Is that good either? Um,
Yeah, does seem like a no win.
This really seems like a no win, and it's weird because I think they have to do this, otherwise the government penalizes them. And it sounds like doing business in New York is pure hell. So if you don't do this, are you going to get fined? Are they going to shut your business down? Like you're if you're a business in New York right now, it's lose lose. You put this sign up and you scare people away like him, and if you let people in that don't have the vax passport, then you're probably at risk of fines and losing your livelihood, your business. Um, Dude, it just doesn't sound like it's a lot of fun doing business in New York.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I'll raise this just kind of to further the argument, so if government is there to kind of provide a long term view, James, then what would you say to somebody who maybe says, okay, well, this is just kind of a short term pain, knowing that there is the long term outcome is hopefully we get out of this, and this is just kind of a draconian, but a step towards making that happen.
I can see that point, and then it's a meme, right? And I hate even mention the meme, but the meme's like, remember when they told you, shelter in place for 3 weeks so we can flatten the curve,
Yeah.
and now it's been 18 months later. Um, and that's where it's just like I think everyone's looking for an answer that we don't have because there's no good answer.
Yeah.
Everyone, no one wants to go to the gym. They want a pill that makes them lose weight. It's just one of those things that we want the answer to everything, and there's no answer right now. So for me personally, I don't eat in restaurants. I see the hell away from everybody. I've had prior health issues. I'm trying to live.
Yeah.
I'll grab some quick carry out. I want to get in and out. I do curbside, that type of stuff, but that's it. Um, but on the flip side of it, I look at it's so difficult because you think about it. If I'm not vaccinated and I want to go in a restaurant, then I can say, well, that's my risk. That should be my problem, right? And the problem is if you're not vaccinated and you get the virus because you weren't vaccinated, and then you might get someone else sick because you weren't vaccinated. Well, now you're kind of like now you're hurting somebody else.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is where there's no right answer right now. My thought is if I'm not vaccinated, I'm just not going around anybody. But that's not the case, as we can see all around the country. So I think everyone's looking. Everyone wants what's new, right? Let's get a label maker and put labels on everybody. Let's paint everybody in the corners. You stay in your corner. When there is no right or wrong right now, it's just we can't acknowledge it's like difficult times.
Yeah.
But I can see where this sign's kind of off-putting, especially even if you have the vaccination. Like it's kind of irritating. But can you blame the business because the government's making them do it?
Well, that's the interesting part, because like New York has the mandate, which means like, okay, this is the sign that's inevitably going to go up. But if you look at the rest of the country, it maybe doesn't have such a stern mandate. Like we look at things often from like the consumer side, but you like the argument also is that, and this is why it's so difficult, that the business owner also has the right to run the business how they want to. And if they want to do it, then they could as well, right? Like there's so many sides to this, which is why it's so difficult.
But they don't have a choice
Yeah, in New York, right?
in New York. So, man, I don't want to do business in New York.
Tough.
That's well, I caught something else from Lewis where he was dealing with the city and he was recording his phone calls trying to call them, and what a nightmare it is doing business out there. And I gotta imagine, I remember seeing other stories of restaurants getting screwed with during the COVID lockdowns, for quote unquote having patrons inside. And you realize like how much New York screws with you. I don't think they have a choice but to put the sign up, or you can say, fight and be the resistance. But then you got to pay fines and do like, man, who can afford that right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm invested in the restaurant industry, dude. It's hard trying to stay. You're digging out of a hole for the last 18 months. The last thing you want to do is piss off. You're either going to piss off the city and they're going to fine you or shut you down or who knows what, or you're going to piss off customers. And they're like, dude, the business owners can't win right now. Man. This is why I
Yes.
say the road to recovery is so much longer than anybody wants to admit. Between new variants coming out, the regulations, the crap coming down from the government, this battle over vax or not get vaxxed, and dude, we got such a long way to go before we ever see whatever normal is, Kane. It'll be a new normal, but we're so far from that, dude.
Yeah, true. And then zoom out one level, like what does an extended period of like 18 months has already done so much damage to certain things like the supply chains and stuff, or even the psyche of workers, and then how they view. Like, imagine if we got to do this for another 18 months, what society looks like.
What if it's 5 more years?
It's at least we'll have something to talk about.
Yeah, and it's not something I want to keep talking about.
It's true.
I guess the things that irritate me when I see this sign, it's the bigger picture of, let's say I'm sitting in this restaurant and there's going to be these what was that movie, The Adjustment Bureau or something, where they could like go around and change time. Do I want the little Adjustment Bureau guy coming around and show me your vaccine passport if I'm sitting in a restaurant?
Yeah.
It's like, what? Is that where we're going right now, to where I'm going to walk down the street and I'm going to get randomly stopped by a cop and you got to show them your vax passport? Or wow. I'm going to sit in a restaurant and I'm going to have to, like, if you're walking down the street and a cop stops you and wants to see your ID, you would say F off. Like, did I do something? did I do something wrong? But in a sense, there's people out there who want to bring stop and frisk back, right? I just wonder, like, where is this going? Am I going to be able to go to New York and sit in a restaurant and worry about someone rolling up on me and having their little clipboard to make sure I got my vaccination passport? You're going to find me or find the restaurant if I don't have it. Like, where's it really going? I just think about, I never in a million years thought this early in life that I'd have a governor or any law body saying that I can't just go for a drive without the risk of like getting a fine or going to jail.
Yeah.
I've never in a million years thought in like America that would ever happen. And you realize how fast your like freedoms are kind of yanked out from you, right? Now, I was someone that I didn't go in stores, I didn't go to bars, I stayed away from everybody. I did the right thing, Kane. I literally just removed myself from society. But to feel like a criminal because I wanted to, let's get some fresh air and go for a drive down the street, it's like, man, some just don't feel right. So I understand why he's got this resistance. I don't think he's probably not mad at the business owner. Maybe he is. But it's like, man, this is the government doing this crap. And what do you do, man? Dude, you can't win as a business owner in New York right now.
Like, yeah.
No, dude, as a restaurant owner, you just can't win, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. All this burrito talk, I'm hungry.
Okay. So you got so much.
I'll catch you.
All right.